Recording in progress.
Thank you. We can start with an opening statement, Coach, and then go right into questions.
Thanks, Nico. Yeah, it's been a good couple weeks of training. I think that the entire group now is fully returned and healthy and available, which is important. Obviously, there's the normal, bumps and bruises that every team has at this stage of the season, but good to be at full strength. We've had a good couple weeks of training, and we look forward to a very difficult match to end the season. I think we know the stakes. We know that we have to have a great performance against Cincinnati, a team that we obviously have a real history with in the last several years in the playoffs. Some really good regular season games, always a high intensity game where both teams are very familiar with each other, and there's a lot on the line for both teams. So in our building now, we need to put on a good performance for our fans and end the season the right way, and then hope for a little bit of help.
So for this game itself, you're obviously very familiar with Cincinnati. You played them tough. They're not playing for anything in the standings. Does that alter your approach of knowing it benefits you to be more aggressive and be up early?
Yeah, for sure. Look, it does mean different things for each team. There still is a possibility of a Champions League spot on the line for them because of the uniqueness of the changes in different things in the rules. But we'll have to be at our max to beat Cincinnati. We know the one thing we control is how we play, right? Is that we can get a result, and that's our priority. We have to win the game. Otherwise, your season is 100% over. That part is clear. So control what you can control, which is how we perform tomorrow. We want to give max effort, max intensity for our fans. We know the building will be sold out and loud, and they'll be behind us, and we're going to need them from minute one all the way till the final whistle. And like I said, if we do our part, maybe one of the other matchups falls our way, and we get ourselves into the playoffs.
I know it's a specific situation to present, but if you are up, say, nothing instead of the 2 or 3 nothing, like you would desire late in the game, like how much does what's going on in DC and Montreal affect how you change things and how early you made it? Does that alter the normal game plan?
Yeah, we'll know the scores. That's for sure. They'll be in our ear with that. Obviously, we know the two games that are going on that will affect our game. So that does, depending what the score is, depending on how our game goes, it affects how you attack or defend. Whether you're tied, whether you're winning, whether you're losing, whatever the game state is, you have to adapt and adjust to the other results, which is something I think I told you guys for several weeks now. You don't want to be in that situation, but that's our reality right now, and we have to win a game and get some help. So again, anything can happen in this sport. There's going to be ebbs and flows to tomorrow on decision day, for sure. But the only thing we do control is getting that win, and without that, all the other stuff doesn't matter. So we have to win the game here tomorrow.
It's been 7, 8 years since this team has gone into a regular season finale without its own fate in its own hands. And so, Form, you're one of the only people who's been around here long enough to remember that sort of thing. What is it like emotionally at a certain point when it is just out of your control?
It's a position you never want to be in again, So that's the reality, right? We've been a team that's kind of prided itself on consistency, on winning, and in past years we're fighting for usually a home playoff game and securing that rather than just scraping and clawing our way in. The feeling afterwards, if we do get in, we'll be the same in terms of making the playoffs is an achievement that gives you hope to prolong your season. And I've said it to you guys in the past. If we do sneak in, not many teams will want to play us. I do know that. And it'll still be hard. It'll be really hard. It's a position, Jonathan, that I don't ever want to feel this way again, trying to scrape our way into the 8 or 9 seed. It's our reality, though. It's done It's been done by us, and as the leader, I take the responsibility of that. But a million things have happened in the previous 34 games to get us to this spot, and now we have one game left. We have to have a really good performance to get a win.
Understanding that there is much to do before you address how to avoid having that feeling
Yeah.
again, but that time is going to come, whether on Monday or in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Are there already things in your mind that you might embark on this offseason, or this team might embark on this offseason to ensure that it doesn't happen again for a while?
Yeah, I think there has to be. I think when you look at our league and the direction it's going and the way it's growing, and whether you believe in the new rankings that came out of the league, in only 2 years, it's gone from 15th ranked to 9th. Whether you believe or subscribe to that or not, you can tell it's going in a trajectory that's up. And you guys have heard me sit here and say the ownership groups in this league are very, very smart, and they don't lose. So it's only going to go more and more forward, which is a good thing for all of us. So I've already thought very hard about things that I could have done differently as the leader, mistakes I could have made, substitutions, additions to the team at the right moment, losing guys to injury, international costs, being a little more prepared for different things. All those things go through your mind. The team, naturally, like every MLS team, will look different next year. But with this group that we have now, we have an opportunity tomorrow to prolong our season, make one last run together, because the locker room is going to look different. That's the reality of things at the end of the year. Whether that's in a good season, a mediocre season, or a bad season, there's changes. So we get that. We have to find a way to kind of bond ourselves together for tomorrow. I think the group's in a good spot mentally, and we'll put on a good performance. Doesn't guarantee a win, but I think that they'll give everything tomorrow.
I guess I have one more, which is Union 2 is going to play a playoff game
Yeah.
on Sunday. A couple of those guys might be on your bench tomorrow.
Yep.
Also. The guys of that ilk, Kevin, CJ, Frankie, others who might be formally on your team next year or informally in your
Yeah.
practices next year, what do you want them to take away when they look at this year? And
Yeah.
now to be with the first team?
Yeah, we had a unique season in that the guys who have been here for a while, the veterans that have been here for a while, don't know losing either. And then you have this new crop of young players that you just named, a Kevin, a CJ, Frankie, a Vasquez, who all they know is this season where it was far too much losing. So you want to get that out of their mentality and their mindset that this is the norm, because this isn't the norm, and we don't want it to be the norm, and we don't want to go through something like this ever again. So we have a strong group of veterans that'll help them and understand that. Games like tomorrow are important. Like you said, a lot of those guys will be involved on the bench tomorrow as well. Some, obviously some homegrowns that'll start the game in a big spot to try to win it. And you learn from all those moments for sure. But I think certainly, and last thing on that, some of the guys that are on our bench tomorrow will play in the playoff game and get that playoff intensity and elimination game experience too. So there's development happening all around. We know we have to find a way to put on a good performance tomorrow to prolong our season. But certainly it's been a season that we don't want any of the young guys to think is normal or this is comfortable at all.
Thanks, Nico. Jim, with the FIFA breaks and how and the players going to represent the country.
Yeah.
September FIFA break wasn't kind with injuries. Did a little better with this time around with the October break. How does the start and stop with the momentum, especially going into decision day and the playoffs? How hard is it to try and prepare for that through the start and stop of the season? Yeah,
it's not ideal for any team. You have to deal with it, though, and adjust and adapt. Some teams are affected more than others. I think you saw Andre go away and get 2 good shutouts for his team. Really helped Jamaica. I think Danley, put 2 90-minute games on his legs, which is physically demanding for sure. Danny and Ty played, lesser minutes, which as a coach, sorry to say, sometimes I like that, so they come back a little more fresh. But overall, the honor to represent your country is priority number one in this game. That's the way it is. So international windows happen. Is it perfect that they happen 2 weeks before the last game of the season? It's not ideal. I can't think any coach would feel that that's a comfortable or good thing, unless maybe you have a guy who's injured and has time to come back. So it's the same for us. It's the same for Cincinnati, though. We have to get our guys back, have them recover quickly. We got a couple days. We at least got from Wednesday on to work with everybody being here. So we'll get some sharpness, get some freshness in the group, and have a good performance on the weekend.
To follow up with that, just with you, as Jonathan said, you've been here a while. For past playoff formats where the FIFA break was between decision day and the playoffs, what was it like preparing for that going into the playoffs versus this format now?
Yeah, look, it's in some ways you get an initial week when everyone was away with the national team. I tell the guys that it's a week you can focus on a little bit on the individual, being a little more selfish and worrying about getting yourself a little sharper, or maintaining fitness for some, or building fitness for others. You have a week of that. And then you have now everybody rejoin the group kind of towards Wednesday this week, and you get to your normal routine and rhythm with the guys. So I think overall we navigated as best we could. Is it perfect? No, but guys, I think are ready to go and excited for tomorrow's match.
Andre, is he fully healthy? He wasn't giving goal kicks and stuff like that. Is he fully healthy?
Yeah. So he was able to kick with Jamaica, which was encouraging. So as of right now, barring any setbacks in warm-ups tomorrow, he should be good to take goal kicks, which helps just with organizationally and the back line and the stepping, the dropping together and keeping things compact. It's a little thing, but it can cause some problems.
Was Sam working off to the side yesterday?
Yeah, so Sam picked up a strange one. His elbow hit, his foot hit the elbow of a goalkeeper on a little 1v1, and just a bruise where it was painful for him, but he was back today and should be good to go tomorrow. Everybody's, like little bumps and bruises, but everybody's at least available for selection.
Where do you kind of see that depth forward position? Sam's gotten some chances over the last handful
Yeah.
of weeks, and I don't think Chris has played since well before the Leagues Cup break. Where do you kind of see that if you get into that position on Saturday of where those guys are relative and what they've brought?
Yeah, each one has a different skill set. I think Sam, tried to get him some minutes here and there, and had some opportunities and had some good actions, and the ball just maybe wouldn't go in for him a couple times. Chris is a guy that I think we all know his work rate and his effort, and helps us sometimes with our pressing and defending. So to close out the game is still a good option for us as well. But yeah, tomorrow it's kind of all hands on deck. We have to win. So we'll have to be aggressive with how we approach the game. Obviously with Mikel, with Ty, with Danny, those are our three best attackers, and those are guys that get goals. Probably need 90 minutes from all three of them tomorrow, whether we're winning, tied, or down a goal. They're going to have to gut it out and go 90 for us. But we will have to adapt and adjust if we're at the end of the game and we're tied, so to speak. You might have to be a little more proactive, taking off a defender and throwing in a striker. So those guys all need to be ready. Sam's missed a bunch of training recently with that little injury, but at least was able to go today. Haven't talked to him yet, but had a little bit of discomfort with it, but I think he got through the session today.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.